Hey residents of Meepletown, if you like board games, which if you're watching our channel, there's a good chance that you do. You've probably played Catan before, maybe played with spaceships before. This is a version that came out in the late 90s, Starfarers of Catan, but this is the reprint done by Asmodee with upgraded components. Let's get to the table and check out Catan Starfarers. All right, so here we have the setup for Catan Starfarers. This is a lot of space. We're all starting down here.
Pun intended, baby.
Totally. All right, so we are playing a two-player game. This is a 3 to 4 player game. We're only playing 2 players because we want to show you how things play out. But this is the basic setup. You can do these randomly, but we all start off down here. And if you played Catan before, you kind of have a gist that you're going to be rolling dice, taking resources for whichever planet that you're connected to. And you just want to jump into it from there?
Let's do it.
All right, so I will start off. I'm going to roll the dice.
All right.
And first thing I do is I roll a 7.
Which does not affect...
It doesn't affect us on
Except
this.
for you get to draw one
I
of
do
our
get to
cards.
steal a card, and this is a little bit different than the normal version, so I'm going to just randomly take one from John because there's no one else to take one. Now, the difference in this one is that all the other players that weren't the active player get to draw a card from the whatever you call it over there, the random pile over there. So you go ahead and take one out of there. Yep. Take your time. We got all day. Don't worry about it. You wanted that card that I took.
I did want the card that you took, and I don't care about the card that you gave me.
All right.
Maybe I do.
So I rolled, and the second thing I do, if it's eligible, and I am, in these spots, you're going to be able to take extra cards. So at the beginning of the game, until we get 8 points, we're going to be drawing 2 cards. And then once we get 8 and 9, it's just going to be 1 card, and then 0 after that. Yowzers. I got some good cards right here. You like that?
All right. Yowzers, I would have thought you would have maybe not got the greatest cards.
So next thing we're going to do is we are going to trade resources and I can build. So, John, this isn't as much fun in a 2-player game, which is why it's a 3 and 4 player game. But do you have, I have to look at the names of these resources because I forget them, but do you have...
Just, you can say blue and yellow.
Any red, which is ore?
I do not.
Or do you have any goods?
It's a possibility. What do you got?
I don't want to trade with you.
Are you kidding me? Are you literally kidding me?
I actually need. Wait, do you have carbon? That's where I really want to ask.
I've got goods, but I'll take a fuel, an ore, or a carbon. Any of those for a good.
Wait,
No.
you'll take what now?
A fuel or a red, yellow, or blue.
For a carbon.
Let's talk in.
I'll give you a yellow for a carbon. You said for the blue.
Actually, I don't need yellow.
Are you kidding me? What about a goods?
I need a good. That's what I've got. I'm trying to trade you a goods.
All right, this was fun, but I'm not going to do it. All right, so I'm going to trade in these 2 goods. It's 2 for 1 on the goods, and then it's 3 for 1 on all the other ones. You're not helping me, and I don't have time for this. So I'm trading that in. I don't have what I need. That was silly. I forgot.
What's happening?
I needed a carbon, or I needed an ore. Do you have a blue or a red?
No.
Go fish. All right, so I'm not doing anything with you. I'm just going to turn in those 2 fuel, and I'm going to upgrade my mothership, which I'll explain what that does in just a second, as in right now. So after you've done the trading and building phase, you're just going to shake this up, and 2 colors are going to come out at the bottom to determine what your movement is going to be. Now I got a blue, a red and a yellow. Red is worth 3, yellow is worth 2, so I get to move 5.
Literally the 2 best that you could get.
Movement, that's right. Now I also have a booster, so that's going to give me an extra movement. So I will move a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's frustrating about this is we had some camera issues and we already filmed this part, and that's what I rolled. But now...
6. All right, so I'm moving up here to 6. Now, when you reach a planet cluster, you're going to flip all of those tokens over. And now, if you want, you can, once you reach an intersection, you can just drop off your colony there. That way you're going to produce there. Now, the problem is this is a pirate spot. And so I have to have a total of 5 blasters, these blue pieces on here, in order to be able to destroy this. Destroy the pirates.
Which would give you a victory point as well.
It would also give you a victory point, which is the point of the game, to get 15 points. But I can't do that, so my movement ends, and that is going to be my turn.
Alrighty, so big money.
Big money.
Whoa, whoa!
There you go. There you go.
Hey.
John's going to throw the dice
easy
off
there,
the table. 12.
12.
That's a
wow.
terrible roll.
That is. There's
Except not for me.
Dang it.
There you go.
That's terrible for me. Wow, I was way too... Oh, no, it was 11.
Oh.
Sorry.
Roll.
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, I don't think Dean's probably going to do much trading with me. Dean, do you need a good by any chance? And if you do, I take a blue or a red or a carbon.
Nothing. I got
Alrighty,
nothing.
there you go.
That's how trading should go.
That's how it should go. All right, so now I'm going to take my ship.
Shake it up. Dancing is optional when you're shaking the ship, and in fact, I kind of recommend not dancing. You just gotta. There you go.
Whoa! It works.
Same thing.
Twice in a row.
Same thing.
It's the dance, bro. It's the dance.
All right, John
All
got a
right.
5 in case you were wondering.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's garbage.
I didn't mention this, or maybe I did. You start off with 1 upgrade. John started off with a booster, so you get to move
So I get to go 1 more, but I wanted to pause to see whether I should maybe
was
go
on
this
there.
way or go that way.
That's right.
I'm gonna go this way to. Maybe I don't want to disclose
All right.
what I'm doing.
Now, John could just offload his colony ship, but...
Broham! I forgot to grab 2 cards.
Oh, okay. All right, John's going to cheat real fast and grab his 2 cards.
I still can't do what I wanted to do.
You couldn't have built anyway.
That's fine,
so-
no worries. No
Okay.
worries.
So he's moved. You're not dropping your colony off there? All right. Now, a colony this is a colony ship that's attached to a ship, is worth no points. When you drop that off, that's worth 1 point. That would move him up on here. We start off with 4 because with the spaceports, this is where we launch ships. That's worth 2, 3, 4. All right. Ready? Jump right into it. A 7 again. Unbelievable. All right. So I'm going to steal a card from John again because we don't
Stop
discard.
stealing my stuff, bro.
And right there.
Get another one.
All right.
Keep taking all my goods.
And you get to draw a card because all the other players get to draw one.
Oh, that was
And
perfect. Perfect.
can you hand me 2 cards over there, please?
I like, if I'm allowed to talk about it, how the game ramps up a little faster because you're
It
drawing
definitely
these
does.
cards.
It definitely does. All right, now we can trade and build. What I do not want to do is trade with John. So I think what I'm going to do is I'd like to go ahead and launch another colony ship. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to do a red, a blue, and a green, and I'm going to make this one into a fuel, the yellow one. So
Do
do you mind putting all those in there? And
No problemo.
so then what I get to do is launch another colony ship from my spaceport to one of the adjacent spots, which would be right here. And then I will shake up my mothership. You don't have to dance, you just gotta do this.
But you won't get a good one.
Uh-oh. All right, so no, this is a special thing that happens. So if you have a black one that comes down, what's gonna happen is your movement is going to be 3 no matter what the other color was. But first, you have an encounter, so John's gonna read that encounter card to me, the first part.
You encounter a merchant.
Okay.
Offer 0 to 3 resources as a gift. Pay your offering to the supply before continuing.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
So do you want to give 0, 1, 2, or 3 resources?
I'm gonna give 3.
Whoa, wow. You're going to give it all,
Here's the
huh?
thing, this is terrible too, because I'm giving up the best resources in the game, and it may not benefit me that much.
You lose the entire game, and John wins.
I don't remember that being a
Wow.
card in the game.
Ew.
I played before.
All right, the merchant is extremely pleased.
Who wouldn't be? I just
You
gave him 3
receive
goods.
any 2 resources from the supply and 1 fame metal piece.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty solid.
So what that does
Put that on
is
the
I
bottom.
have completed a fame piece, total fame piece, which moves me up 1 point. I'm gonna put this in the discard over here, and let's
You
see.
get
So I
any
got my
2
points. I get
resources.
any 2 resources. Now, what I don't produce a lot of at this point is I can get some blue. Green is difficult for me, and fuel's not super bad or is pretty difficult. So I'm gonna take actually I'm just gonna take 2 green. How about that?
All right,
I can use the correct language. These are food.
take some food.
All right, so now I get to take
Isn't
my
that weird
movement.
looking food?
It is.
Look at that thing.
I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat that. All right, so I get to move 3, 4 spaces, and I think what I'm gonna do, I would like to just see what's going on up here.
Dang
so I'm
it.
gonna go 1, 2, 3. These are gonna flip over. Oh no!
All right, well,
So I would like to be able to
that's a good
go
one.
here. let's see, I was here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stay there. I can't drop my colony off of there because of that spot right there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to move that space. And that will be my entire turn.
Alrighty,
Back over to John.
Yep, let's start by giving it a roll. You want to do one more round?
Yeah,
you want to do one more after this, or this?
I would love to do that because I would like to
6
colonize
okay.
this
So
system
I
over here.
get a yellow, and you get a yellow, which is fuel. Also, no one gets blue because that's another player, and then there's no other ones here, right? All right, that's it. Okay, so what's Daddy gonna do, Dean? You got some blue? You got any carbon?
I mean, you just saw what I got. I just drew
I didn't see anything.
2 greens over there.
You know
2
what, I
food.
could do that.
I have a fuel.
I'm gonna do that just to be a little different. I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna take the little ore, some fuel, 2 of these, and I didn't draw 2 cards, by the way. Yet again.
Wow! Every time.
Wow. Not every time.
I mean, it has been.
So it happened twice.
That's been every time.
Yeah, you made it sound like it was worse than it really is. All right, so it's already set up for me. All right, so I'm gonna do a trade ship. So that's gonna launch from here. Now trade ships are gonna allow me to come over here, well, or maybe over here.
Or over here, over here. That's the closest one.
I just play my cards. To be able to get some cards that might kind of build me a little engine, maybe some more ore, maybe something whenever I roll. There's a lot of cool things that'll help in trade. All right, let's do it.
All right. Hey.
Blue and yellow, not
3.
great.
Not great at all.
Okay, that's the last dance I do ever. But I'm going to get 1 extra movement because of my booster on here. So, I'm going to drop this off. I'm not even going to move it.
Okay.
I'm just going to drop that off. This ship is going to
go away.
And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I'm guessing John's going to try to come up this way. Go to this.
You never know.
Outpost right here. All right, so I'm going to take my turn. This last turn, is that what we're doing?
Yep, that's what we
All
got.
right. A 9er.
Niner.
All right, so I get a red over there.
And then there's no more 9ers.
There is a 9 over here, but I'm not quite there yet.
No one's there, I know. That's what I wanted to go to, but I assumed he would get it first.
Probably not going to make it. Yep. All right, so I'm also going to take 2 cards, if you would please, sir. All right, and let's see. I've got some options here now. Do you want to trade for a... Let's see. Do you have any goods cards?
No.
No goods. You just got rid of them, didn't you?
I got a lot of food, but you just took 2 food.
Do
so that's
you
probably
have
not
any
good.
carbon?
All I have is I'm just gonna be real with you, transparent.
All right.
I got fuel and food.
All right,
But I probably want to keep my fuel.
Not going to do me any good. So I'm going to trade those in to upgrade my boosters. Now I've got 2, which will help with even more movement. All right, that's
true.
all the building that I'm going to do. I'll keep these cards because I like them. And what else am I going to do with them if I can't spend them, right? So I'm going to shake up my mothership. I'm going to choose not to dance.
And you're gonna get a black ball again.
I did, that's right.
You like those, though.
Another encounter. I actually really enjoy
like
encounters.
encounters.
What I don't want is to approach pirates right now.
You approach a wormhole.
Oh, I like that.
Do you wish to space jump?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So space jump is going to allow me to move a ship to another space.
So he's gonna compare his ship to mine. We're gonna compare the boosters, and then we're gonna shake this up for speed. So whoever has the highest speed, including their boosters, it's going to either be good or bad.
We'll see. Probably I need to out boost you. I got a 3.
Boom!
You got a 5. All right, so I got a 3, 4, 5. John's got a 5,
6.
6. So he wins.
So the dancing works. So I went back
Let's
to the
see
dancing,
what-
and I said I wasn't going to. Your ship's booster is damaged.
Oh.
Choose one of your ships. It cannot move this turn. That's not
Okay.
awful. I thought you were going to have to lose a booster.
Oh, no, that is awful. I wanted to be able to move my ships far off into space.
I know, I could have maybe made it to that spot now.
I'll leave that one there, and then maybe I'll be able to figure something out with that one. So I'm just going to move this one 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I was going to lose a booster is what I was afraid of. And then I'm going to drop this one off, which is going to give me another point. You also got a point when you dropped off that
Oh,
colony ship.
oopsie-daisy.
I forgot. So
I like to stay back and be a little incognito.
that's right. So that is a gist of how the game plays. You want to play one more?
Well, you started.
I thought you said you just wanted me to.
No.
But I'm winning. I'm winning.
about a whole round.
All right, we'll play one more.
Whoops.
How dare you,
Get your
sir?
spaceport out of here.
How dare you?
All right, is that 6?
6.
So you and I both get one of these. And that is it on that, right? I'm trying to do this fairly quickly so we can give our thoughts.
That's right.
But let's see here. So, alrighty.
I hope you have an encounter that
Do you
destroys
have
your ship.
any red that you want to trade?
I don't want to trade.
Okay, that's fine. That is fine. If I keep telling myself that.
All right, I'll trade you. What do you want?
Really?
Yeah, it's the last round. Sure, why not?
You can do a green for a red?
Yeah, actually, I would do that.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait, what are you giving me? A green? Yeah, I'll take
Are
that.
you serious, Dean? Are you literally serious right now?
I'm doing this for the sake of gameplay to show you all.
All right, so I'm going to get
What
another
can't
colony. Thank you, Dean. Dean usually doesn't play like this. He's usually pretty. They call him Cutthroat Dean. That's what they call him.
Nobody's ever called me that.
That's why you like to have a lot of the guns, because you like the pirates, because you're Cutthroat Dean.
I do like fighting pirates.
Alrighty, so
Come on. Encounter. Oh, come on.
no, but it's still not a great
Maybe I
move
didn't-
though.
maybe you
So
don't
I
have
get
any in
3. I mean 4. I get 3 plus my booster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, and that plays out. Now, I do want to explain a few things on the board before we get to the review part of this. One is, as we're launching those ships, you notice that we're putting them from our spaceports. Now, one thing you can do is build more spaceports out here in space. So let's say John had the resources to be able to put a spaceport on there. He would be able to put that ring around the colony, and now from this point, he can launch ships from this spaceport or this one. So that was one piece that I wanted to show you, and then there are these other... They look like blood drops. These are the freight pods. These are what you need to be able to get the spots here. And I didn't mention this, but once, let's say I had 3 of those and I've got a ship right there, this would be discarded and I would pull out a new token. This is going to give me 1 point. And the new token would be what that die roll would be.
And
so
the freight pods also help you with the trading aspect whenever you come over here. So,
that's right.
And let's just briefly talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
So if I were able to get over here and get into the middle spot, I don't have any freight pods.
Yeah, you just have to have 1 more than what is available. So, I'm sorry, you have to have equal amount for what spot you're putting on there. I didn't say that very correctly. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on here. So there's 5 ports. So let's say we have 4 of them out there. If you want to place and John had 2 here, if there was a 5th one that he wanted to place, he would have to have a 5th freight pod. If I wanted to place a 2nd one, I'd have to have 2 freight pods.
So if I made it here without boosting up my freight pods, I would not have been able to actually do that. But if I did do that, then I would look through this stack of cards, which would actually, they correspond to the planet. So this one has a little green, and so this would actually give me a little engine for more goods. So I could pick ore, food, whatever. There's more than that.
Yeah, we
I accidentally discarded those. But anyways, basically I can pick a resource to any time I get it. I get an extra one, so I get 2 instead of 1.
And all the
that's
outpost
pretty
cards
neat.
play out differently, but
Yes.
each outpost has its own like flavor. I guess.
Absolutely. Some will help give you more boost. Some will help you with trading, like where you're actually trading 2 for 1 on some of these, even 1 for 1 goods, instead of 2 for 1.
Yep.
So a lot of really neat stuff like that. So
All right, so let's talk about the art and components.
art and components.
You're looking at
They're
all of them.
terrible.
John is dead wrong about this. The components are off the chain. They're amazing components. You've got these fantastic motherships that are that have these little spots to upgrade them with freight pods and with boosters and blasters and all kinds of cool things. And these are very sturdy, which in the original game, that was one of the big complaints. You have the trays that keep all the components, including the cards, and they also tell you what the trade value is for those. I've got nothing to complain about for the components. Art, I love the art actually, but it's like space art. The board looks
The art
cool.
on the cards is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, on the board, is what it is. You're in space. You can't have something crazy, right?
That's right.
On these cards, it's good. It's good. Yeah, art wise, it's. I mean, it doesn't blow my mind because I don't think it's privy to that. Maybe
Sure.
to really blow in your mind, but the components are fantastic. And I'll say this: that Dean and I recently took this to a local gaming convention, and the people that stopped by to look at this non-stop kept coming by
The entire game.
the entire game, and
Yeah.
a lot of them were folks that have the old version, and they were like, this is a night and day difference. So if you have the older version of Catan, Starfarers, and you're thinking, man, my ship's kind of falling apart, or I'm interested in just looking at this new version, the components from them, I don't have the old version, so I don't know. But overwhelmingly, people said far superior.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like I'm playing with the baby rattle here.
Yeah, you got to put it down.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so what about the gameplay, John? What do you think?
Okay, so we should briefly mention, I think, what we think about original Catan.
That'll work.
You think?
Yeah.
So my feelings about original Catan are, I loved it. It was a huge, amazing gateway game to get me into the hobby. I still enjoy it, though. I'm not one of those persons that's like, oh, I'm too good for Catan, and it's not. But there's plenty games that have surpassed it for me. My biggest issue or challenge with Catan is the trading aspect that
which you saw in our, that first.
And this doesn't change that. This doesn't change that because and it may be the people that you're playing with, but I loathe whenever it's like, oh, I've got a green, a food. So what do you have? You got a good? Yeah, well, I got a good, but I don't want to do it. But what if I gave you an ore to go with it? Nah, I don't know. Maybe if you gave me
it can add an hour to the game.
It can,
that shouldn't take that
and
long.
the people I've played with Catan with, they're like that, honestly. And like, it's just like, come on, y'all, let's just make some trades and let's move on. So I will say that's the one aspect of this game that is not changed. It hasn't changed in this. Now, the thing I like better about this is that you're drawing these cards,
That's right,
which helps I think to not do that quite as much because you're getting more resources over the course of the game instead of getting stuck with just what you're rolling, which is another thing that frustrates me about Catan also. Sometimes the rolls don't go your way.
Sure.
And when that doesn't happen, sometimes it is difficult to get the resources. Here, especially early in the game, you're getting two resources every time.
Yeah.
So that's a huge plus for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It makes the start of the game so much more fun that you're not just sitting around waiting for your numbers to roll. There's a lot to like about this game. That John mentioned the encounter when that came up and how I enjoy that. I love that piece.
Yeah.
Anytime you can incorporate story into a game that this is a very thematic game, I think, and the encounter cards really add to the.
It does too, like the way you're going further in space and stuff.
Yeah. Now, had I been able to, with an encounter card, had I been able to jump space, I would have been able to go way up here faster and to be able to explore these planets. It doesn't give you it gives you an advantage, but it's not like an overwhelming advantage because there's still lots to explore. I really enjoy the outpost that John's already mentioned. I think that's another really cool way.
That's huge.
To add some engine building into a game that otherwise doesn't have it. And then in general, like the way that you can build up your ship is great. Right now, both of us were kind of focusing on building up our boosters so that we could go faster through space. However, really, normally what I like to do is build up the blasters so that when we approach pirates, when we got to this planet, I'd be able to take that out. Yeah. Or if an encounter has us encountering pirates, I'd be able to take them out. So I enjoy building up the mothership as well.
Yeah, that's really fun. It's fun too because it doesn't cost very much to do that. So you feel like you're constantly building in this game. You don't feel like you're just sitting back and going turn after turn after turn, not doing much because you're just getting blocked in by the roads, which I like how there's no roads in this game because you're not getting blocked in by that. It just feels like
where we're going, we don't need roads.
Roads. Dang it, we're supposed to do it together.
Space.
The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship. One thing I will mention about these encounter cards that I don't love is that the initial story is the same on a lot of them.
That's true.
There are about space attack. Space pirates are going to attack you. You encounter a merchant. You saw that. You can meet some space pirates to offer trade. A merchant. You see a starship being... Oh, there's probably 6 or 7. Maybe 8. Yeah, maybe not. No, there's more. There's more. Maybe I am being incorrect.
But you do encounter the same type.
You do for sure.
Now here's the thing, though. They're the same. Some of them are the same. Like if we
there's probably about 8 of them.
Yeah. If we had another merchant that we approached, the outcome could have been totally different.
Correct.
And so you can't just do the same thing every time. You have to kind of plan for that.
Absolutely. You may think that you're going to do the same thing you did last time. It's a totally different ending, which I like that.
Yeah.
It was just... by the end of one of our games, I just kind of felt like, I feel like I've heard this story before a couple times, but it's okay. I like them. I don't love them like Dean loves them.
I do love them. I love them a lot. Speaking of loving, why don't we get to our final thoughts? You ready for that?
Yep.
All right. So John mentioned Catan I really enjoyed Catan. I still play once, twice, maybe more a year, and I still enjoy it. I play with a group who says we are going to move quickly through that trading phase. We're not going to linger there, and that makes it a lot better for me. Now, this game is so much better than Catan, a game that I do like, you know. But this game, I love this game. I think it is just so fantastic. The production is through the roof. The theme is very strong in this game, which is something that I value quite a bit. You're actually exploring into space. There's lots of other things to do other than just collect resources and build things up. That's a big part of the game, but there's a lot more to it than that. So for me, I give this game an 8.5 out of 10, which is a game that I will... I'll play this if it comes out and somebody needs a player. I'll play it because I think it's fantastic. I enjoy it.
Do you think this boosts Catan up at least a point or something like that for you? Probably.
Yeah, I think I'm at about a 7.5 roughly for Catan. So you know that's
a pretty big boost.
One thing to think about: if you just absolutely hate Catan, you still might not enjoy this because kind of the core is still there. It just adds so much more that I love. A lot more.
I agree, and I was going to mention that. I'm a little bit less hype on original Catan as Dean is. I'm probably more like a 6.5 to 7 or something like that. But this is fun. This is good. This helps with a lot of the issues that I had with Catan, especially as I mentioned, these getting the goods every single round. Also, I really enjoy that the trade colonies and be able to kind of build an engine. That's so fun. It's really neat. And also, we didn't mention, but on those trade colonies, whenever you're leading in that area, that colony, you get 2 victory points.
Oh, right.
So that can flop back and forth. Like if I may have that, but then D builds 2 there, and now he's got that. So that can really make some big swings in the game, which I think is fun. And you kind of have to guard against that as you're playing this. I think that's super neat.
I think it's better than the largest army or the longest road.
Much better
in regular Catan.
So. In my opinion, I like it much. I like it much better.
All this is our opinion.
Yes, I like how you feel like it's more thematic and you're spreading out over the course of the board. So, but I really like this. This would go from like a 6.5. Like Catan to be, this is an 8 for me.
Wow.
Like this was a surprise of the little convention that we went to, because I hadn't played this. I did want to try it. I think this game might also help people what's the word for it? Come back to Catan?
Reinvigorate?
Maybe that's the word. Like people who maybe like, oh, that's just Catan. It's kind of old. It's kind of tired, or I'm too good for it now. That happens in our industry.
You're not too good for this game.
But I mean, it may be fresh. You may, and you may even bring back feels that you enjoyed of Catan a long time ago. That now that you would go, maybe that game's not so bad.
Yeah.
This is really good. It's really good. So here's the last question we want to ask: Is it worth it? Because this is an $80 price tag on it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Now, for a guy like me who is really big on components, I love having really nice components in this game, and because I rate it so high, for me it is worth it because I really enjoy it. Obviously, if you don't like the game, it's not worth it. But I think it's worth the price tag because of the enjoyment and the high production value. But I can see.
You know what I'm going to say.
I don't think it would be worth it for you. Well, not everybody feels that way about components.
I'm going to say this. If you're a huge Starfarers fan and you love it, I think it's worth it. Like, I think that if you've, your components are getting wore out, you want to have this new version of it, and you really love it, like it's a 9 or a 10, you just love that. I think, yes, go for it. Spend the $80. I don't like to spend $80 on games unless they're extremely high. I just don't. That's just lots of money's for me. So for me, it's not worth it. If they had like a little bit less, I don't know, some meeple or wooden type pieces and stuff, and it was $40 or $50, I'd probably say yes, it is. But I'm not like a lot of people. A lot of people have no problem dropping $80 on the game. I just do. So, I know there are other people like me as well.
If the metal pieces were actually metal, would that be worth it?
Nope.
Okay. This is very much like a deluxeified version of a game.
But I quite enjoy the game.
Yeah. All right, we both do. I give it an 8.5. John gives it an 8. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe to it and even click on that bell for notifications so you can know when we're coming out with new videos. We have a podcast on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher, and just search Meepletown and you should be able to find our podcast, I would say. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Meepletown Games. And if you want to dive deeper into our community, we are Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games.
and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.